Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to start a new video series here on my YouTube channel. This is going to be kind of an instructional tutorial series for my private trumpet students, but also for just anyone who might be interested in getting better at the trumpet, whether you are in band, if you're a high school or you're a middle schooler. This is really open to anyone who wants to kind of look at these exercises that I'm going to walk you through and just further develop your tone and your skills on trumpet. So we're going to start with what's called the Chicowitz Flow Studies. Okay, so I'm going to do a whole series of these. Kind of goes through a lot of different keys, so you kind of get practicing on doing different keys on your trumpet. Okay, so I'm going to switch to scene 2 here. So you can find these at greggwingtrumpet.com. If you just type in Gregg Wing Flow Studies, these will kind of pop up, and these are exactly what I'm using. So just Google it, and you'll find. I'll also put a link in the description of the video below. Okay, so Vincent Chicowitz, little background on him, was a famous trumpet player. He was the assistant second trumpet player in the Chicago Symphony Orchestra for a long time, along with Bud Herseth. Taught at Northwestern University, which is a famous music school. So it's a very well-known teacher and professional trumpeter. Came up with these flow studies to kind of help develop your tone and your range across the instrument in multiple keys. So these are kind of standard exercises that every trumpet player really should know and should probably warm up with pretty much every day. There's some other exercises like Clark 1 that you might use, or but you'll hear a lot of people warming up with these flow studies every day. If you ever go to any sort of university, you'll hear these being practiced. They're very, very ubiquitous in the trumpet world, so it's very important that we know them. Okay, so let's jump in. What we have here are a set of individual measures that each measure covers one key, okay? And as you go through the sets, the range in that key is expanded. So in set 1, the highest note is G and the lowest note is C. Set 2, we start on G, but then we go up to C, third space C, and then down to C again. So we'll always end on that C for each set. Set 3, we're up to E, then we go to C again. Set 4, go up to G, back to C. Set 5, we go up to high C, then all the way back, so that's a 2-octave set right there. And then set 6, we go up to even to E. And really, you can take these up further. I do sometimes, just for fun. And when I'm really trying to expand my range, these are great exercises for that. Trumpet players, as you know, need a wide range to be able to play all the music that composers write for us. Such an exciting sound to play high. So let's jump into set 1. We'll do set 1, and then I'll do a separate video for set 2. So set 1, we're going to start in the key of C. And this is very important that you start to realize that even though we're in the key of C right here, we're starting on the 5th note in that key, which is G. Okay? So let's play set 1. I'll play, and then I would recommend you pause the video and play. So we're always going for a big, bold, beautiful sound that's smooth across the register and really even. Okay, so let's look at set 2. Now, like I said, these are representing individual keys, right? But they are not using key signatures. They're using accidentals to tell you which key you're in, okay? So we really need to talk through this. We're in the key of B because it's the last note. We always end on that root or the home tone of that key. So we're starting on the 5th note in that key, which is F sharp, going to a raised 4th, which is F natural, back to the 5th, F sharp. We have a G sharp, which is fingered 2 and 3. Then this note tends to get a lot of my students. This looks like just a plain old F, but you got to remember that accidental carries through, and it's a sharp note. So that's F sharp. Then we have D sharp, which is 2 and 3, and then we have B. B natural, which is middle. Okay, let's play this one. Okay, on our next one, we're in the key of B flat. So our first note is F. We go to a raised fourth, which is E natural, because in the key of B flat, the fourth note is actually E flat. So if it's a raised fourth, it's just going to be E natural. But they don't have to notate that because there's no key signature. So it's a little tricky there. So anyways, we start on F, E natural, F, G, F, D. Make sure to kick out your third valve slide. And then B flat, which is first valve. Let's play it. Okay, on to measure number 4. Guess what key we're in? Look at the last note. That is A. So we're in the key of A. So we're going to start on E, which is the fifth of that key. We're going to go to a raised fourth, which is, when I say raised fourth, I mean the sharped fourth note of that scale. So in the A scale, the A major scale, the fourth note is D, and you just simply sharp it for this particular pattern. So it's D sharp, which is 2 and 3. We had a D sharp back in measure 2, if you remember. Go back to E, F sharp, E, then we have C sharp, which is 1, 2, and 3, and kick out your third valve slide on that note, and then to the root of the key, which is A. Let's play. Okay, on to the fifth measure. We're in the key of A flat. We're going to start on E flat. Raised fourth is D natural. Go to E flat again. Remember the accidental carries. Go to F. E flat again. Remember accidental carries the whole measure. C, and then A flat. Okay, now we're on to the next to last measure in the key of G. So we're going to start on the fifth note in this scale, which is D. Go to a raised fourth, which is C sharp. Back to D, E natural, D, B natural, middle valve, low G, which is 1 and 3. And on this note, even though it's 1 and 3, we're not going to kick out our third valve slide. It's just 1 and 3, all slides pushed in. And finally, the last measure and the last exercise that we'll do in this video is D flat. We're in the key of G flat, right? Because the last note is G flat. We're going to start on D flat. So D flat is the same thing as C sharp. It's 1, 2, and 3. And your third valve slide needs to be kicked out. We're going to go from D flat to C natural to D flat. Remember that accidental carries the whole measure. Now, for third valve slide, I usually just leave my slide kicked out for C natural. But I do have to remember after I play that third note, which is the D flat right here, and I go to E flat, I've got to pull my slide back in for E flat. Then I got to kick it back out again for the D flat, in for B flat, and in for G flat, which is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's play that note. Okay, so that's the first video. Click on set number 2 in the description for the next video.